and welcome to the Warrior Goddess Weekly. This is your ritual reset for strength, for sovereignty, and for sacred rebellion. And I'm Lisa. I am your guide, your summoner of the Warrior Goddess Saga. And we're going to guide you on a journey of some wellness alchemy where we blend body, mind, spirit to help you to break free from burnout, from releasing guilt and shame, and to rise as the highest and best and most powerful version of you. So each week, we're going to be talking about the energy of the moon, the wisdom of the seasons. We're going to share what that means for your warrior goddess archetype and give you some practical alchemy in action sessions to take away with you. So we're blending the spirituality, the biology, and the psychology together in our little 10 to maybe 20-minute segment here called the Warrior Goddess Weekly. And I'm really excited to share this with you. So this is more than just like a podcast or a live video. It's basically a call to rise, right? It's your initiation to your midlife reawakening and step into the warrior goddess you were born to be. So today's topic is all about going from fire to focus, right? We're going to call you back into the new moon that's happening next week. Now, I'm just going to take a second to make sure that you guys can see and hear me as always, because we're streaming live across all of the platforms. And I also want to make sure that you are getting the information in the right way. So let me share this out to our group and then to our communities. And as always, if you want to connect with us, you want to talk about the themes and topics, I want you to come and first of all, take our Warrior Goddess quiz. So it's the Warrior Goddess archetype to help you determine what warrior goddess you are. And then to also be able to, platforms. I just wanted to make sure, that you guys were able to hear it, and now you heard me talking to myself. Brilliant. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are connecting with us across our communities and in our platforms and be able to come and join us inside our Warrior Goddess Tribe community. So this is where we stream this live every single week, but also where we have the discussions. We help you to identify your warrior goddess archetype, and we go a little bit deeper and help you to identify any sort of patterns, self-sabotaging behaviors, or anything that might be getting in the way this week. So, as I said, this week is all about from fire to focus and helping you to harness the lessons, reclaim your energy, and prepare to plant those powerful intentions as we move into the new moon next week. So, what does this look like for us, and what is this going to look like for you inside your archetype and inside our community? So first and foremost, if you don't know anything about the Warrior Goddess Archetype Quiz, it's a personality style quiz to help you to identify your warrior goddess in terms of your, strengths, your challenges, your self-sabotaging behaviors, and the opportunities that might arise from all of that. You can go on over now to the Warrior Goddess Saga, SAGA.com, where you can do your quiz and then come and join us inside our free community, the Warrior Goddess Tribe community. You can join us there at warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/tribe, where you can come in and we are active in there, sharing podcasts, having discussions, also helping you to identify your quest or next step in your warrior goddess journey, and really just being helpful and supportive, right? There's thousands of ladies in there helping and supporting you right now. So first of all, let's talk about this week, right? I really want to hone in on what's going on. So we're entering into the waning phase of our moon. So waning phase into the new moon. And what does that mean? It's a time for you to exhale, right? But also to integrate and to clear space ready for these new intentions that you're going to be setting with the new moon next week. So the new moon on the 21st is also a cosmic reset button, right? You know, you love me, a reset. I talk about the wellness reset audit that we do. We help you to, without shame or without guilt, wipe the slate clean and go, this is what I want. And maybe time to draw a bit of a line in the sand, right? So it's a blank canvas where we can plant those new intentions, align our new goals, and write new stories. So after last week and that fiery supermoon in Aries, this week, we're going to give you a chance to pause, reflect, and integrate some of that massive transformation and transition that was going on, right? Redirect your focus to what matters. So, energetically, it's a time to stop feeling so scattered, right? And we're going to call that power back and ground it in, ready before we set our intentions. So, it's kind of like the bridge week from burning away what no longer serves us to birthing what's next, right? And that's what we want for this week. So, what does this look like? So, the sacred pause before the portal. That's what I want you to think about. So, last week's supermoon allowed you to see where you are leaking your power through that people pleasing, overdoing, self sabotaging behavior. And this week, we're about reclaiming that power, gathering it back into our center, grounding ourselves, breathing, being ready to have the capacity to grow and change. So a lot of the time, what tends to happen with women when it comes to starting a new transformation program, deciding to get healthy and fit and get in shape, or deciding that they want something new in their lives, maybe they want to seek a new goal, change of career, they want to move house, they want to do all of these things, they're already too filled up. Right? We're really filled up in our lives with all of the different hats we wear, all the responsibilities that we carry. And what we need to do is let go and declutter those things that no longer serve us, whether that be decluttering a space, decluttering people from our lives, or decluttering even thoughts or old patterns of the mindset shifts and stuff that we need to do prior to setting new intentions, because you can't call in and be in a position of receiving if you're already full, right? So if your cup is literally overflowing and you're not like able to receive, then you're not going to be able to actually realize these new intentions that you have for yourself. So this week, it's about reclaiming that power, gathering it back to your center, and grounding, ready for what's about to grow. So on the 21st, under the dark, fertile soil of the new moon, we plant the seeds of our next evolution. So we're also going to invite those of us in our inner circle to our first inner circle goddess gathering. So the inner circle is made up of those warrior goddesses who have completed the quiz, find out their archetype, and have embarked on their specific quest, right? It's a $7 initiation. It's some program, steps, trainings, PDFs, guides, whatever it is that you need based on your archetype, based on your own little pattern of self-sabotage or challenge, to help you to take next steps towards that. Once you have shown that you are ready to take on the quest and ready to take action, then you're invited inside of our inner circle. That inner circle consists of everyone who has taken the quiz, embarked on their quest, and is ready to set new intentions with us. The goddess gathering is going to look like a online Zoom call specifically with me. Now, I don't do group Zooms very often in any of my communities, so this is a chance to access that energy. And we're going to go through a guided meditation together, and we're going to do what I call soul aligned intention setting, understanding the difference between intentions and goals, and getting very clear on what it is that we want for ourselves. So this is very important specifically for our seekers in our community. It's very important for our alchemists in our community, because we want to turn the intentions into action. Yeah. And we also want to help and support the guardians in our community who are already playing too small. And we want to help them to step into a more leading role in their lives. And for the warriors who need time to sit, reflect, digest before they burn out, and get a clear idea of the path before them, rather than just doing everything. All right, and staying busy. So each archetype can work with this week's energy in a slightly different way. So let me run through that for you guys, right? I just want to check in, make sure you guys can see me, see if any comments are coming up. Yes, perfect. Okay, so how each of our archetypes can work through this week's energy. So let's start from the warrior, right? So our warrior is all about the push, 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 the do, the hustle, 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 right? But it's not that hustle is necessarily bad. I want to kind of break apart this hustle kind of concept, right? I do believe in a good, strong work ethic, right? And I do believe in hustle as a notion for getting things done. But I think that what tends to happen is that it can become toxic when we push too hard and don't know our boundaries, or when we feel pushed by others, right? So we're pushed to prioritize them. We're pushed to do more because we have very, very poor boundaries. We are pushed because we don't rest enough and focus on our overall health and well-being. But there is nothing that can come between a warrior goddess and her goals when that is all aligned. And I think hustle towards the goals isn't a bad thing. If it's done in alignment, if it's done balancing sacred rest with pursuing your goals. And it's also done from the mindset that it's not that you're not enough, or that you don't want to, pause and rest, because then you won't have that sense of value because you're not producing anything. We want to come from a place of feeling self-sovereign, right? That you take these action because you can be both a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. And it's not trying to fix yourself that's the driving force. It's that you want to embody the highest and best version of yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, just wanted to caveat that for you warriors out there. So the shadow side of the warrior is forcing the action, overcommitting, and ignoring those signals to rest, being out of balance in terms of when to rest and when to push, right? So the opportunity is use this quieter energy to sharpen your focus, sharpen that sword, sharpen your blade. Yeah. So where does your strength need direction? So it's not necessarily that energy, that fire is bad. It just needs a clear direction, and it needs to have a step-by-step formula, and it needs to know when to rest. So your intentional work for this week, choose one mission for the next lunar cycle that truly matters, right? And then commit to it in as we do inside our Sexy Strong program, which is very good for warriors because you've already done a lot of work and you're ready just to make it happen. But I want you to, set a goal that is balanced, right? We need to find the balance. It's not just, I will lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks kind of energy, right? We've all been there. We've all been there, ladies. We've all been there. So it's about what the intentional work is there. So the seeker, from chasing to choosing, we want to learn some discernment. So your shadow side, that scattered focus, shiny object syndrome, seeking answers elsewhere rather than within. We want the opportunity for you is to reflect on what you truly desire, right? We want to churn that focus inward by getting clarity from stillness. So we're going to get you to be still, right? So I want you, the intentional work is to do some meditation, some grounding work, some breath work, some journaling work. And you want to set that intention around consistency, right? Daily actions that deepen your journey so that you decide that you're going to follow through on one goal, right? Which is always about what we do with the seekers. And we want to focus on the momentum. So we want to get clarity about what truly matters, right? Whether that be, if you do the 90-day momentum plan, it helps you to clear out and be focused on your life plan, like what is actually matters. So you're not drifting, you're intentionally working towards what you want, and that you are measuring your momentum. So in the stillness, be very clear what it is that I want, without looking outside of yourself, without looking for that external validation. You want to be clear about the path inwards. Yeah. And then it's about building that momentum. Yeah, one little micro habit or one little micro step at a time, but seeing the momentum, honoring the progress, and honoring that momentum. And you might need some help inside our tribe community to do that. And that's exactly what we're here for. Yep. Alchemists, from thinking to transmuting. Overthinking, staying in prep mode, or waiting for perfect timing is the shadow of the alchemist. So during this time of the stage before the new moon, we want to turn your insight into embodiment. Alchemy happens through action, not just theory. So, spells and other embodiment practices requires you also to do. You need to take action on something. So choose a ritual or daily habit that grounds you into reality, right? So embodiment based work, breath work, EFT tapping is really good for those sorts of things. And of course, I'm going to say movement, whether it's a 10-minute walk in nature or a 10-minute kettlebell practice. Alchemists, we want you to embody your intentions. Yep. And guardians, from protecting to preparing. So your shadow side, over controlling, resisting change, clinging to comfort zones, staying in that people pleasing, codependency bubble. We want to help you create structure that supports expansion, not block it. Okay. So it's about boundary setting. Guardians, it's always about boundary setting for you. I gotcha. I know it's tough, but I want you to pick a boundary for this week, right? And this boundary must allow you to have space for you to focus on what you want. What are your needs, goals, and desires? So, whether that boundary is, I will commit to 10 minutes of time by myself in the morning as part of my morning routine that's non negotiable. And I sit and do some journaling for 10 minutes, asking myself, what do I want? What are my desires? What are my goals, right? For me, because guardians also need to look after themselves. So you need to protect your time. You need to guard your time and your boundaries like the guardian that you are for others. Okay. So here we go. A couple of rituals and wellness alchemy practices for the week. Practice retrieval, right? Power retrieval practice. Journal on where your energy could be leaking through relationships, obligations, overthinking, old stories, old patterns. Yeah. Okay, so where do you feel like your energy is weak, is leaking? Where are you giving yourself too much to others? Where are there very porous boundaries? Where are you not focusing on you? Where are you just outwardly focused? And then, right, I call my power back from for each one. And then, right, we want to then get you ready for the intentions or the pre-work before the 21st. Okay. So, right, start to think about the intentions you want to set. So, once you've called that power back, what are the intentions you want to set for the next lunar cycle? One for the body, one for the mind, and one for the soul or spirit, right? What does that look like for you? And then I invite you, and this works all well for every single archetype, daily grounding ritual. 5 to 10 minutes of intentional movement, breath, stillness. We want to anchor your nervous system and create space for new beginnings. We want to do that from a safe space, move you out of survival mode, be grounded in our bodies, ready to set intention so that we have the capacity to receive that. And then I want you to clear your space, right? Physically tidy your altar, your workspace, your home, your office. New moon energy needs open space to take root. So we want that for you too. Okay, so remember, the new moon on the 31st isn't just another date, it's a portal into the next chapter. And I invite you to join us. So our first inner circle goddess gathering will be the sacred space where we plant those intentions together, turning it into embodied commitments, right? As a community. It's not just wishful thinking. It's not just manifestation in terms of I want, I wish, right? We're going to put things into action. So whether your next cycle is about strength, whether it's about, you know, weight loss, whether it's about our relationship, whether it's about a new career move, whether it's about a new purpose, or whether it's healing a lot of what's going on for you, this is where you begin and where you stop leaking power and start directing like a laser towards what you actually want. Okay, so I cannot wait to hold it. If you want to be involved in our Warrior Goddess community and be part of the saga, come and join us. First step would be to do the Warrior Goddess Archetype quiz, the Warrior Goddess Saga, ga.com. And then come and join us inside that tribe community where we're having all of the discussions. You can then join the quest. It's a $7 quest, ladies. And then you will unlock the power of coming and joining us inside the inner circle, ready for our new moon gathering next week, where we will have a live Zoom call together. Access to me. We'll do an energetic clearing. We will do a guided meditation. We will help you be ready and grounded for you to set those intentions so that you can become the warrior goddess you were born to be, because that's what we want for you. So I hope that was interesting and helpful for you today with our Warrior Goddess Weekly. We will be back same time next week across all of our channels on a weekly basis, and I'll be checking in. We're actually going to be back on the new moon, so we will talk a little bit about that, but we will save all the juicy stuff ready for you to join us inside the inside our gathering, inside of the Inner Circle Goddess Gathering, and I can't wait for you to join us inside there. But until then, yes, until then, and until you are thinking about this, I want you to remember that this is your warrior goddess wisdom for the week. Okay. Transformation doesn't happen through willpower alone. It is born from intention, from which ritual and aligned action. So take what you've learned here today, ground it into your daily life, move your body, set your boundaries, honor your energy, and let your warrior, seeker, alchemist, and guardian guide you forward. So I hope you're ready to embark on your quiz, find out your archetype, do your quest, step into our inner circle, and I will see you same time, same place next week. Until then.